Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here. I'm the creator of the Toolkit for SureCart add-on. We make SureCart add-ons here at Surely WP. Today we have a huge update to our Toolkit add-on. I think there's 11 new main features, so I'm gonna just go over them and highlight them in this video. I'll just follow along to this blog post, and you can too if you want. It'll definitely keep me organized. So yeah, there's 11 new features. It's a huge update, and it really brings it starts to bring together the vision I have for this plugin, where it's just all kinds of very helpful admin, store manager tools, things for selling things, all pretty much anything like miscellaneous things. But I think you'll definitely see after you go over this list. I mean, you can look at the list there. You can pause if you want to look at the list, or I'll go over these now. Now this one here, external and affiliate products, that was released in a smaller version. So the way this works, this update is 1.2. So I want to highlight everything that happened since 1.1. So something like this was released a few weeks ago by request. Really cool. You can see this is on the product pages. You can just go and put in the URL and edit the button, and it works like a normal SureCart product, but it's, someone clicks to purchase it, it'll go to a different website. So that's really cool. Now for one of the bigger features, we have a new admin column feature. And so when you are in the back end of the settings, so here you'll see admin columns right here. It's going to be a new tab. Now when you click on that, you'll see orders and products. Now we have these two tabs here for that, and so each one is off by default, and you can enable it. So if I enable order columns, just for example, then you can open each one of these up. You can rename it, you can turn it off. And so here, let me show you. Like here's the order screen. So look, I'm not using shipping. I don't really care about fulfillment. I'm not using integration. So let's turn those off. I'll show you how that works so really quickly here. I don't want this, so I'll turn that off. And this one, and this one. And you can do similar things with the products, the product columns. So like, maybe if you're not using a commission, turn that off. Integrations, you could turn it off, whatever. Like, I don't really care about that. Maybe you do, but anyway, it allows you control, right? So there you can see I cleaned up my order screen, right? I don't have any of the things there that I don't need. Now, there's one thing I didn't mention. You can rename these. So, like, I don't know, like maybe I want to say payment status. Like you could edit the text, if you want it to be more clear for any of these. So here, now it says payment status instead of just status. Things like that. Now, we're not able to rearrange them, unfortunately, which isn't a big deal, but all right, let's take a look at some of these down here at the bottom. Now, you may not recognize these because these are new. These are added by this update by our plugin. So product name, I mean, that's a big one. Now you can see the product name when you're viewing the order. Like right now, I don't know what product this was, right? You'll be able to see it. Subscription type. Now that's going to be installments. So if you're selling the installments, how there's like, it's considered a subscription, right? But if it was listed here, like let's say this one here was an installment, you wouldn't know that. It's just going to say subscription. Now installments in SureCart are subscriptions. It's kind of nice to know that, right? So there's that. Trialing. Oh, this was one that I really wanted for my website, WP Inbox Connect. I have that product where I connect WordPress and your inbox. And I have a trial system that you can sign up for a free trial. And it bugged me so bad that I didn't know when an order was placed, I'd look at the orders and I didn't know if it was a trial or not. So now you can show that. Recovered status, if you have the abandoned cart system running, you'll know if, hey, that person, this order is from an abandoned cart. That's cool. And then this last one is you can show a download button to view the invoice. I probably don't want that, but I'll turn it on to show you. Okay, so here we go. You can see the product name is added here. And then the subscription type. Now, these test orders, obviously. Oh, here's one. Here's some installments. See that? It just says a subscription there. Now I know that was an installment. You can clearly see this button. So this takes you to like the, that screen. Okay, so here's a trialing one. So this order, I know at a glance that this order is trialing. That's great. This one's recovered. I know at a glance, hey, that one was recovered. That's really cool. Oh, well, I'll get to that. I'm going to click on this order. When I'm looking at this recovered order, I don't know that it was recovered except that I have my setting enabled right there. This does not show by default. This was added by our plugin. I have it enabled. I got ahead of myself, but that's okay. So if you go to the miscellaneous tab, there's going to be all these like different things in here, right? So I have show recovered badge for recovered orders. Now I could turn that off just to prove it, but this one right here, this right here, is not going to show by default. So we've added that. Just a nice little thing. Like to me, that's important for me to know that when I'm looking at this order, like, oh, that's so cool that it's this person, that we recovered this order. Okay, so that's all this. This is talking about those columns, right? Here's a feature, order again. So just enable a setting, and in the customer dashboard, they'll see this button, order again. And it's gonna take you to like the, when you buy now, like it's gonna take you to a checkout page. Here's an interesting one. We had a feature request for this. In the customer dashboard here, like this back home button, that goes to the website's homepage, right? But a couple of people were saying, hey, that's super confusing. People are expecting it, like if I'm looking at plans, they're expecting it to go back to dashboard, I think. Like, yeah, it's like considering it part of like the customer dashboard navigation. So I don't know. It's hard to know. How do you gauge that, in real life if that's happening? But now you can enter your own URL. See right here, enable back home redirect. You can put in your URL right there. Retry payment option. Okay, so this is one that I wanted for my own use cases. I had a couple payments that were failing, and I don't know if I have any examples. But anyway, you want to make sure that the setting is enabled right here. Enable retry payment option for failed. I'm going to turn that on. Then I'm going to look for a failed order. All right, so here's one that says failed payment. So I'm going to show you something. So I had this happen, and a customer emailed me and said, hey, can you just go ahead and retry the payment? They updated their card. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I'll log in and I'll go and do that. And would you believe I couldn't figure out how to do it? I thought, well, maybe in the actions, it's not there. I thought, how do I do this? So I figured out if you go to the actual subscription and like, I don't know if this is a good example. This is weird because now it's showing it canceled. Well, anyway, I had to come to the subscription and click this little menu right here, and right here it said retry payment. And I was like, well, shouldn't there be an option on the actual order that has failed? Long story short, we added an option right here in this menu. When you have a failed order, it's going to have it right there, retry payment, rather than going to the subscription and then to that menu. So that's what this feature is about. And I'm showing you that there. All right, we already showed this, show recovered badge. I told you about that one. Here's another feature request, role-based login redirects. Now we had the original login and logout redirect feature. Now you can set up by user role. So like here, you could enable this before, put in the URL that you want. So if someone logs into the customer dashboard, where do you want them to go? Well, check this out. If you enable the role-based, and then you start choosing some roles, so maybe like a customer role, subscriber role. So whichever, if you add multiple ones here, right? Now we're going to save our changes. So now whichever ones are selected here are going to have an input field, and you can see, that's going to be dynamic. So it says the name of that role, subscriber role, customer role. So you can put in the URL for, if someone has one particular role, they'll be redirected somewhere else than another person. So now we already have pretty robust FluentCRM integration. So if you're using FluentCRM and SureCart, we have the glue to bring them together. We added a couple extra features here, which I think is really cool. Now you can add a button that says view FluentCRM contact profile. You can access that button in the FluentCRM settings here. So I have them enabled. So now anytime I'm viewing an order, for example, right here, check out this. It's a button here. I can just say like I'm looking at this order and I want to go to that person's FluentCRM profile because I want to edit their tags maybe, or I want to, whatever I want to do. I can just click that. And there I am, just like that. It was that simple. I didn't have to go searching for it. So I think that's neat. And that's on orders, subscriptions, and customers. Now we have our vacation mode feature. That's already something that we've had, I think, in version 1.1. You can set your store to be paused. It can show a message and all that. So all we did here was basically extend that for when you're using our other add-ons. So our services for SureCart and our support portal for SureCart. Now when you're viewing like a ticket or you're viewing an individual service, you'll also see the vacation mode notice like, hey, our store, we're currently closed for the weekend, whatever it is. And it kind of gives context. Like if you're working on a service for someone, a custom deliverable or whatever it is, they'll see that right there in the service. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so now here's an interesting one. Now on one of my other websites, I have WooCommerce and I'm using like the variations, and I need a different description for each variation. So when you select like annual or lifetime, whatever, I want to be able to like write something about that, right? I couldn't figure out how to do that in SureCart, so we made it happen. So what we do, you go in and then you enable that feature. That's right here, enable price descriptions. So when I say price, I'm referring to like in the back end of a product. These are prices, right? So here's a one-time price, pro plan, elite bundle, right? Those are prices. So when our setting is enabled to add descriptions, right below here, see this? We're not able to edit this, unfortunately. But look at this. Here it says basic plan, and here you can write the description. And pro plan, whichever ones you add up here are going to appear here. Okay, and there's one more important thing. This drop down, you can choose whether you want to display the description of only the selected one or all of them. Let me show you that. So here's the front end. You can see the description showing right here of this one. Now if I select the Pro, you can see how it does that. This is how it works in WooCommerce. And so you can see a description for each price. Now you could enable it for each, but I don't like that one as good, but you could. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed all these updates. Let me know what's your favorite, or let me know what you want to see next. I mean, the sky's the limit here. We can add all kinds of stuff. This is going to be our go-to for miscellaneous things, but any kind of admin tools, and definitely like selling features, marketing features, whatever it's going to be. If it doesn't, equate to like a full add-on, it's going to be in our toolkit. That's going to be like, this is going to be our flagship, and it's really maturing. Really happy about that. So yeah, let us know feature ideas for this, and we already have a list of our own as well, but we value very much your feedback. That's often what gets put in as features here. So all right, hope you enjoy. We'll see you in the next one.